Yes, I can see. Actually, here there is no light. It's raining, so it's
Oh,
working on
it's
my phone. So
raining.
yes, it's raining, and no lights today for us. So my phone can, I mean, it can go at any moment.
Okay,
But you guys can continue. My IT team will take care.
thank you. So can I start?
Yes, let me just introduce. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Neelam Saxena. She carries over 25, 30 plus years of experience in the field of entrepreneurship. I mean, she has been a wonderful educator and also been a double doctorate, one from the chemistry and then into entrepreneurship. She's currently a professor and head at Amity Center of Entrepreneurship at Noida in Amity University. And just to talk about her, she has trained in numerous startups. She's been mentoring lots and lots of startups throughout and been giving them all kind of support and guidance, and they've reached to some level now over the years. I think I have lost the track of even the counting of what she has been doing it. So she's been excellent entrepreneurship educator, and today she's actually going to talk to us about business model canvas and value proposition canvas. And I mean, there could be no befitting person than her. And in spite of her busy schedule, she could manage to be here. So I'm so grateful to you, Dr. Neelam.
Thank you,
And
Dr.
without
Sheenu, for inviting me and introducing me. Thank you very much. And I take over from here.
sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Sheenu, for inviting me. And thank you, Arvind, for standing up for me over here. In fact, Arvind is a good trained educator already. And, you would have loved his sessions more than mine, but your luck. So
Would
here
love to
we
have
go.
Arvind sometime.
Yes, Arvind is going to take, don't worry.
I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, please. He'll be happy to be with you. So when we are talking about crafting value propositions, see, your business totally depends upon the idea in which you are working. Wow, what are you offering to the customer? And I have a very, very simple definition of a customer. And who is your customer? Kasht se marta hua insan is your customer. So you need to identify that kasht to craft a powerful value proposition. So what we are going to talk about at present is design, test, and deliver what your customer wants and how to create those product or services that customer wants. Because, I will be totally making one product which I love, but nobody wants. So how are we going to go ahead with it? Why does the startup fail? For any startup to fail is that you have produced a product which nobody is looking at. So let us understand the word value first. What do you mean by value? So value proposition is a clear statement about the outcomes that an individual or any organization can realize from using your product, service, or solution. What is the benefit which the person is going to get when they are going to use your product, service, or solution? And it is what we are wanting is the outcome of your product service being used. You should come to me because one, I will deliver the best thoughts. I will deliver you the best coffee. I will deliver the coffee which you want. I will cook up things for you as you are wanting. Few restaurants are just very, very popular because they cater to the individual taste. So let us look into first the word which is value. What do you mean by value? So what is a value proposition? Value proposition is a statement, or it is that which is going to help me identify what? My target market and the opportunity. See, I am speaking first about the target market and then the opportunity, because I am not coming up with the idea first until I have my customers ready. Please understand, till now you would have been thinking, I will make this product and the customers are going to take. But over here, if you look into the aspect, the target market is more important, and then your opportunity comes out of it. So identify, are you going to cater to below the poverty line, or are you going to cater to luxurious items to the niche, or are you going to give it for a middle class? See, your strategy is going to change. The moment you identify the customer base, you will then be changing your strategy. So a value proposition identifies target market and the opportunity. It is going to explain the cost and benefits which is going to be arising because of this opportunity, and how, which combination is going to make your value, your product more valuable than what the others are doing. So value proposition is not a mission statement, elevator's pitch, or a sales pitch, or a unique selling proposition. Now I want to understand from you all, what do you understand by value? Can we have this interaction first? What do you understand about value? Yes, you can unmute and talk. Otherwise, what's the plan?
Something is worth for a money.
Worth for your money.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else?
Degree of importance attached to it.
Degree of importance attached to it. Very good. Anyone else? No one? See.
Hello.
Yeah.
The usefulness of anything is the value.
So one has said usefulness, one has said importance, the other one has said that it is the worth, because when you are talking about the cost, it is the worth. All are right. You know what is valuable? You know, trust is valuable to me. Honesty is valuable to me. Can you give any worth to it? Or, you know, can you say that this is what is required? You know, I want honesty between all of us. Now, how are you going to give that value to others? Okay, I'll give an example now. In this pandemic time, you are having all black marketeers coming up with oxygen, right? Oxygen cylinder of 5,000 is being sold for 1 lakh or over 1 lakh, right? The customer who was buying it knew that it is not of that amount, but they were still buying it. Why?
Because of the need.
Because of the emotions they associated with the life of the patient.
Kasht, actually.
Kasht. Yes. Yes. So they were ready to not let go of that. And you know, there are people who have given an empty oxygen cylinders, saying it's a filled one, and duped. So what is of value? What is of value? Anything, a product or a service which delivers the fundamental kind of need which is required, right? I was wanting an oxygen cylinder, so I bought it. I was wanting medicine. Money was no tag over there. So I can be looking at a product for various reasons. So what are those reasons? So when you are trying to make a value proposition for your own product service, you have to look into which segment are you following. If you are following into a functional type of a category, that means functional category means something which is going to give me the benefit of simpler, faster, easier, reducing efforts, saving time, avoiding the hassles, making money, and I am giving some ease to the customer. I will be able to sell my product. Okay, so I have to be very clear in identifying that I am going in for a functional type of value of which is going to address these needs. You know, information. Why do we go to Google? Why do we download Google Chrome? Only because we know that the information is at the click of the mouse over there. So functional, it can also be an emotional thing. If you remember that Narrow paint advertisement, Mera Wala Pink, it's a paint, it's a functional product, but it has been converted into an emotional. Or the brand coffee, Nescafe saying this is my, no, Brew says this is my coffee. Or Wagoner is driven by the smart people. You know, trying to have an emotional connect with your product and services. So you can have a wellness and anxiety reduction. So you, or maybe therapeutic or attractiveness. So you can try to use those functional products getting converted into emotional. And these emotional needs can further be converted into motivational or self-actualization or heirloom. You know, I have that HMV record of my great grandfather, or, you know, these products, they are life changing. You know, your AIDS or your this Red Cross Society is giving you hope, or, you know, your cancer hospitals are coming up, which is giving you a very good treatment. So they get into life-changing products. That because they are giving you hope, they are giving you affiliation, they are giving you the motivation, they are telling you that we are here and we have this success rate and you will be one of the success. And the final way of having your value pyramid is that you self-transcendence into it. So, you know, the more elements you provide, the greater the customer loyalty and the higher company sustained revenue growth is associated. I'll give you a very simple example which will show how my basic product can be used in all the four stages of needs, or all these four kind of needs, which are functional, emotional, life-changing, and social impact. So see, I have a passion. I want to have a ready-to-eat type of a service, right? Ready-to-eat chapati. That is what I want to make. Simple roti, which is going to replace your bread in the meal time. That is your lunch and dinner. So that is a functional product giving you satiation for chapati. It gets to be emotional if the people come and buy my product over other products because they enjoy the freshness and no cumbersome method of eating it. So it gets to be emotional. It gets to be life-changing when people don't have any energy to make and they are now subscribing it for their daily as a daily need product. And when I have started, I thought I will sell some 10,000 odd chapatis. And if I'm able to sell somewhere around 7,000, that is good enough. These 3,000 which are remaining, I am going to use it for poverty below the poverty line, subprime customers and give it for free so that nobody sleeps hungry. Then it has a social impact being made in the society. So are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Listening to you.
Yes, ma'am.
See, your
Yes,
product
ma'am.
can be very simple, but it can be moving upwards. You know, when you go in from functional to emotional, even nostalgia, मैं तो यही खाऊंगी. I will have this, you know, small eat chapati which is being made. So this product comes on time, so it reduces down my anxiety. It is easily accepted by anyone who comes into my house. You know, these are all things which make you associate with the product. And it gets life-changing when you stop buying that atta to make chapati into your house. You have made a life-changing decision. Do we make breads? No. Do any one of us think of making a bread? No, we always think let's go and buy it. And it doesn't take even a second for us to take that decision. So maybe chapati comes and replaces it. And you can always self-translate yourself by making a social impact in the society where you stay. You look into so many people who have come together just for logistic purpose or for giving food to the grassroots level people. In this pandemic time, it has changed so much. Everybody's perception has changed in life. So these are what your values are, you know, and what is a value proposition? It is a simple end result where the customer in a certain segment use it. I am giving you a very simple example into it that if you have a cold, then the XYZ is the medicine which you take. Who's your customer segment? Busy people between 15 to 65 years of age who need to go out for school, work, or enjoyment also. And what is the value proposition that cold medicine is giving? Feeling good enough to go out and enjoy the day instead of having to stay at home and feeling sick. See, so every product is going to have a value proposition associated with it. This is a simple value proposition canvas. I'll share it with Dr. Shinu and she will share it with you because you will need to give it as a submission. So value proposition describes the benefit of a customer which you can expect from your product and services. So here is a product and service and here is your customer. So product and service will always have a value proposition to the customer, then only the customer will come. And very easy, customer will come only when he is having the cost. So product and service to be loved by the customer is not easy. And these are the few reasons why startups make mistake is because they make a product which is not required by anybody. Then the second most important reason is because they hire poorly. And the third reason is they have less of focus. Fourth is because they don't execute and the selling is very different. So what is a big challenge to the startup and enterprise to be converted into an enterprise is that they have wasted a lot of time and resources in unproductive meetings using uncommon language, which the customer is not looking for, and this gives rise to your product failure. So what you need to do is you need to have a better approach for creating value for customers and lowering down the risk of failures. So value proposition canvas is the answer for creating value. And this is over here when we are designing, we will have the focus on. So value proposition canvas is customer or with a gold within the circle and the product and services which you are going to make. This is also called as PVC. And where does it come in a business model? The customer comes at the extreme right of the business model, whereas value proposition is the center. See, I told you also initially, it identifies the target customer and the opportunity. So here the marriage between the target customer and the opportunity needs to be done. And if the value proposition is unable to give you this marriage between the product, service, and the customer, your business will fail. So this fit gets to be very much important. So what you need to do is you need to have a customer profile. What is a customer profile? The set of customer characteristics that you assume, observe, and verify in the market. It is also called as personas, customer personas. The set of customers characteristics that you assume, observe, and verify in the market. I want to make a baby food product, right? Product may be like a Cerelac, but in the market where I am, the neighborhood where I am, they don't have children. All are 40 plus with no children staying at home. Should I make a baby food? Should I make a baby food?
No.
Or should I start a play school?
No. No.
Why? Because the customer characteristics are not fitting with the value map which I am trying to design. Now, you know what I need to look into, that the customers which I am having are 40 plus, but majority of them is 65 plus. So maybe for these retired people, I can have a club. So instead of a creche, I can convert it into a club for playing, club for entertainment, club for coming and fun, entertainment and time pass, or maybe fitness. Will it make sense?
Certainly,
Yes.
ma'am.
So now see, I wanted to make a creche and I have come down to making a club. And when I see people more in depth and I do analysis of my customer, I find even a club is a small thought. I should be making an old home. So all will come and stay with me and have their activities taken away. Makes more sense? So the value map, profile mapping is required very much. Don't go with your idea, what you want to do. Fair enough, you decide your domain with what you want to do. But whom do you have to cater? And where are they? And what are they looking for are very important aspects, right? I will give an example over here. In 60s, when you had chocolates come in, dentistry was also on the rise. Okay, so doctors started saying that your teeth are going to have caries. If children eat chocolates, they will have caries. And as a result, what happened was the chocolate sale and the toffee sale reduced in the market. Then if you recall, there's an ad which comes for Cadbury where the girl comes running down and dancing with a Cadbury in hand, and they started saying, it's a gift for someone you love. On a cricket ground, the girl is dancing just because the the team has won, and with a Cadbury, and the jingle goes, it's a gift for someone you love. And from that onwards, Cadbury has kept, they have stuck to no kids, you know, a gift for someone you love for all ages. They will showcase a whole family, but never a child alone. So you see how they tweak the value proposition. They are pushing the chocolates to the teenagers now. So this is how your value proposition canvas looks. What are the jobs to be done? You start with jobs to be done. Look at the customer and look at the jobs to be done. Say, I am going to now talk about the ready to eat chapatis which I want to make. So what are the jobs to be done? Say, I am a PG person living in a PG. So I want to eat chapati. I am not able to get. So I buy atta. I need the flour. I cook and then I eat. If I am doing this and I am a student, when is the time going to be there for me to go and study? Because cooking and catering for myself is a whole day's job. So I want something, one, take away the job of making a chapati, right? What were the pains? I just now enumerated the pains. Making of a chapati, getting the flour, kneading the flour, and then processing it 2 times a day. That was the pain. What will be the gain? Someone is giving you a ready to eat chapati, which you can heat it on the gas, or you can eat it in the microwave, or on the tawa and have it. This is a gain. So how do I make a product and service associated with it? Comes on my left hand side. So what is the product and service? What are the pain relievers and what are the gain creators? These need to be done. So there can be 2 ways of innovation. One is a product inspired innovation. You know, I want to make a ready to eat chapati, and I am now looking at where do I sell it. I may be selling it to PGs, I may be selling it to young couples, I may be selling it now online because of the pandemic. Every house has to eat inside. So maybe, right? Or you can have a customer inspired innovation. Customer is already having this problem and I am now making a product which is going to suit them, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to choose a customer segment. So what are your pains, what are your gains, and what are your customers come out, because the first thing we need to do is choose a customer segment. The group of people or the organization who share similar characteristics that you aim to reach and create value for them. They can be segmented on the basis of demography, geography, behavior, or psychographics. It can be demographically by age, gender, income, martial status, ethnic backgrounds. On the basis of geography, it can be local, national, regional, international. On the basis of behavior, can be on the benefits of the product, which is going to go on the usage rates, on the pattern. See, usage rate. I am a North Indian and I require the usage of chapati to minimum 2 times, maybe even 3 times. I can have it as a breakfast also for a meal. So usage rate. Now, when the usage is high, I need not have a two-pack chapatis or a three-pack chapati. I need minimum 6 to 8. So the packet size also needs to be varied, and it depends upon the behavior pattern. On the basis of psychographics, I can have on the basis of the personality, the activities, the values which anyone has, or the attitudes. So let us look into one for the Ola, which has been done for you. You can download, go to the Google, and from Strategizer download this template also, and you can do it for yourself. So let us look into the first. What are the customers' jobs which require to do? Call a taxi, find a taxi, give direction, and pay. These are the 4 jobs which they do when they hire a taxi. Let us look into an era when Ola or Uber or any taxis like these were not there. Mobile app taxis operated were not there. We would have a taxi stand nearby our house, which could be anywhere from 2 to 5 kilometers away. So I would go, call a taxi, bring the taxi home. You know, when I go over there, I may not find a taxi. So call a taxi and find a taxi are very big pain points in the jobs to be done. Once I get it, I say I have to travel to the airport. Now I first go, get a taxi, bring him home, put my luggage into it, and then travel to the airport. And if the person is new and doesn't have the direction, I have to give the direction also and pay. So these are the customer's job which is being looked at. So what are the pains? Wait for a long time, you know, compete with other customers. I didn't get a taxi only. And because of the paucity of taxi, the taxi people charge me more. And there was an unsafe driver also associated with it. So fair prices, what are the gains? I will get a fair price, easy payment, arrive on time, and professional. That means professional driver who doesn't smell and doesn't continuously jabber, just not even asks me a direction and takes me safely. So identify your customer segment, identify the jobs, identify the customer pains, identify the customer gains, and then prioritize these jobs, pains, and gains. So visualize what matters to your customer in a shareable format. So what you need to do is make a bundle of this as a product and service. So what you offer to your customer is product and service. So a taxi smartphone app was what being offered. And what were the pain relievers? That instant booking is there, no cash is there, assigned driver is there, the cost system is already, you are aware of it. It is going to save your time. It is going to give you a professional driver. It is also going to give you a map in which he is going to take you. And there is a rating system also associated with it. So what we are going to do is we are going to explicitly talk about the product and services which are going to create value associated it, and then we are going to map it. So every pain point and every pain relievers and gain creators need to be mapped. It is not necessary that I map all. It is not possible for product and services to have all the aspects, but try to have as many as which you can differentiate and get the associated money. So you look into it, this, what does your Ola or Uber do? It gives you an instant booking, it assigns a driver, it gives you a cost system. No cash? No, it takes cash also. So it is not necessary that I should prioritize on the cash. Look at the gain creators, saves time. You know I will get an Ola in 10 minutes in this locality. I need not book a taxi at that instant of time. 10 minutes is all I need. They have a professional drivers. They give me a rating system, and visual map was not required. You know, they give it, it's good, but I have my own Google map through which I can look into it. So look at what are your best fit assumptions and what are your wrong assumptions. Remove your wrong assumptions and adjust and redesign. Okay. So now, I want to understand what you have understood about this.
അതൊന്നും കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
Pardon? Pardon?
Arya, you want to ask something?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Not hearing.
Oh.
Anyone has any doubt about the value proposition canvas, what ma'am has explained? If you have any questions, please raise before she move on to business model canvas. It's quite important at this moment for all of you because this is going to be helpful for you for working on your idea. So if you have any questions, any doubts in terms of understanding the canvas, please raise the question.
Yes, Razia.
Can you please speak louder, ma'am?
Oh, you didn't hear, all of you?
Not able to hear properly.
I think there is some problem with your network. Otherwise, I'm able to hear it well.
Yeah, Dr. Sheenu, it's fine. You know, I could understand.
This session
but,
is
you know,
recording. Can we can?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, somebody's trying to speak, so let her finish, then I'll speak.
Razia, I think there's some problem at your end. You may able to hear it well in recording.
Very low voice. Not able to hear properly.
Are you not able to even hear my voice?
Yeah, your voice is not hearable.
So I think
Arya, there must
problem
be
at your
something
end.
wrong at your end. I am able to understand. I could follow everything which Dr. Neelam has shared, and even what Dr. Sheenu is talking, I am able to follow that. So there could be some problem, technical glitch at your end.
Ma'am, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. The point
You
is, whatever you have explained so far, you know, you are familiar with this entire concept and you are into this and you have been doing it for many years, right? But since it was put to us for the first time, definitely it would take us some time. I would like to talk about myself. It would take me some time to understand the concept. Yes, the things are pretty easy. They were in the flow, okay, but I have to go through them again and then would see, you know, what is it that I have not been able to understand. So far, whatever you have explained, that was very, very much understandable. To me, I'm talking about myself, ma'am.
Yeah, Vandana. See, how entrepreneurship is taught. It is always taught on the basis of concepts.
Right.
All of you will be having your different ideas. So now you need to sit with your idea and try to figure out what are the pain points which people are having and why should they come to you. See, it is very important. Why should they come to you? Because this is what you are going to get the benefit of.
True.
If I can emphasize that benefit and highlight, you know, you will get a solace. Say,
Right.
to an obese person, you say you come and do exercise to with me and you will lose 5 kg of weight surely if you do this much of exercise, and it doesn't happen. There is a dissatisfaction associated.
Right, right.
But if you say you will be healthy and fit irrespective of your weight, you come.
Right, right.
You know, the approach gets to be totally different.
True, true.
Because too many solutions are there, too many dietitians and nutritionists people are there giving you solace, but people don't fall into that prey. So you have to identify this will lead to this, and I can show you.
Right.
If that value you have done, okay, let us look into organizations also. If I say this is a product of Tata, what does the name sound to you?
Quality,
Quality, trust,
trust, yeah.
honesty,
Honesty, integrity, everything.
Integrity,
Lot of values attached.
lot of value. Now, if I say this product is of Ambani's,
Mhm. Okay.
you will have a
Right.
doubt. That trust won't come
Mm.
because the organization has stood on a shaky foundation.
Right.
So, you know, every organization needs to make its own foundation also. You have to make a value. See, Vandana, I'm talking to you. You also have a value.
Right.
हर एक फ्रेंड होता है किसी के लिए, हम सबसे नहीं बात करते हैं, है ना? One friend I will bitch, one friend I will cry, one friend I will talk, and another friend I will have fun. Do I do
Right.
the same? Do I do the same with one?
Mm.
No, na?
Right. Right.
We have different.
True,
So
true.
value of that person to you is this. So when we talk about value proposition, that value has to be imbibed into the product service which you are offering.
Mm. Okay.
And if I have that product or service offering, imbibing my value,
Mm.
it will make more sense.
True.
You know, this value proposition model is so good that you can use it for yourself also and look at why people come to you, why people do not come to you, what are their expectations which you are not meeting.
Ma'am, here I am reminded, Dr. Sheenu would agree with me. This is a book by Simon Sinek on Start with Why, right?
Okay, golden circle.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless I believe whatever I'm doing, I would not be able to launch that product and come up with, because normally what do? We start with what? What is it that I'm going to make? Why do I want to make? Yeah.
Yes, very true.
Okay, right.
Why, how, and what? These are the
Right.
three principles of golden circle.
Absolutely.
Which is surely why is the essence.
Right.
See, especially when I was giving the example of ready to eat chapati and I transcended it into why am I doing this? I
Right.
want to make it as 10,000 chapatis,
Mhm.
selling 7,000 and 3,000, which is
Remaining, yes.
I will be using it for the below the poverty line. So
Right.
here comes the value for the
True.
society. And unless today social communities are looked into, especially post-pandemic, I don't consider that you will be able to last in the business environment.
True. Got it. Got it.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you so
okay.
much.
And I am having Kanika.
Kanika, you have a question?
My question is that while we are serving, like while the product or it's like the service is going good and everything is fine, and upon the feedback we got to know that there are all of a sudden customers, out of competition, they want the prices are too high, or say the risks are associated. Then again we have to modulate the entire thing from the beginning, or like it's just an assumption.
I didn't get your point. Can you repeat?
See what happens that when one thing comes into the picture, like for the first time, so the customers, they are like, yeah, okay, they go for it. But after a while, when they're used to it, or when their other competitors are there, and they say, no, it is more expensive, the money has to be reduced, or how to deal with this.
Okay, I will give a story for this. Okay. And the story goes, on a railway platform, there was one small child, 11, 12 years of age, who was serving water to the trains which were there. Okay. So one train comes and is stops over there. The one old person comes and asks him, what is the value of this glass of water? So he says it is ₹5. Okay.
Okay.
For this glass of water. So this chap, what happens? Doesn't buy the glass of water and goes away. Goes in and sits in the compartment and moves out. Now the train goes, there is one person who has been observing him for a long time about this action. So he goes over there and says, this fellow came and asked you for a glass of water. You were not even selling it very costly, but he didn't take. तो आपको खराब नहीं लगा? तो वो क्या बोलता है, साहब उनको प्यास ही नहीं थी, उसको वैल्यू ही नहीं था ग्लास ऑफ वाटर का. He was just asking for the sake of it.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Okay. Yeah.
What do you mean by value then? Have I been able to explain to you?
Yes, ma'am. Much clearer than what. Yes, ma'am. Much clearer.
See, value is, if I want it, I will have it. There is also a water diamond paradox. What does this water diamond paradox say? Water which is present and very precious of life is free. We don't buy. Do you buy water if it is readily available? If you are in the house, you will prefer to have your own RO water rather than going and buying a Bisleri. When you are in a restaurant, you will buy a Bisleri for ₹20. When you are in a 5-star, you will buy that Bisleri for 100.
Yeah.
And when you walk down and you are uphill and where there is no potable water, you are ready to shelf out more also for that water.
Okay.
Right? So what happens is, the value associated is also situational.
Okay.
It is also relative. Diamond, which has no value to your life or to your bearing, is very costly.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else is having a question?
how to know that our demand is situational or relative, or how to guess it, how long it's gonna go, like, you know.
So you need to be understanding the pulse of your customers. See, law of diminishing marginal utility will always hold true.
Okay.
You know, once I have had a pizza, I will not have the second pizza for this week. But someone else will have it. So, you know, there are many concepts which come into play. So you need to you need to be, you know, as an entrepreneur, if you have to decide about the value, what type of the product and services you are choosing is very important. See, today the oxygen is even of 50,000 rupees. And I was hearing that someone borrowed an oxygen concentrator for 5,000 rupees a month also. A day, sorry, 5,000 rupees a day. For 5 days, he paid 30,000. मतलब अगर मैं खरीदती normal time में oxygen concentrator, it would have costed me 45,000.
Yeah.
Right, that's the price of it. But with today, the price has gone so high that they are selling for 80,000, 90,000 and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
So
all right. Thank you.
Well, most welcome. I hope I have been able to give the concept of value proposition to you nicely, and you will be able to use it.
Yes.
See, one thing I want to add, that when we talk about gain creators and pain relievers, we need not necessarily map all. और गेन क्रिएटर डज नॉट मीन मेरा जो पेन खत्म हो गया तो गेन क्रिएट हो गया. Gain creator can be something like, you know, what McDonald's do when you go and ask for a McD burger, they give a small child a small toy. Nothing associated with it. So that is a gain creator. And that is why all children want to have a McD.
Okay.
Not because the McD has a taste, but because they get a toy extra with it.
Yeah.
So gain creators is a very catchy thing. Which, how are you trying to create a gain creator? Right? You know, adding different type of products also can be a way of gain creators. Okay, now let us move to the second part of this. From crafting value proposition to
നാശം തീർന്ന് തീർന്നേ ആ എന്തോ മൂന്നല്ലേ വന്നു റൂം അടിച്ചു ഞാൻ തൊട്ടായില്ല ആ എന്താ വന്നത്
Just a minute, can I have a glass of water? Then I'll join back. Okay. So first, let us understand what is a business model and what does it do for us. You know, I am having a value proposition. I want to make this for my customers. I have identified my customers. Now, how do I deliver it? How do I process it? What is the way forward? You know, for that, what does a business model do for you? It defines, it creates, and it delivers what value to the customers and to you, right? I'll redefine what does a business model do for you. A business model why should you be doing, like Vandana asked me, why should I be using this value proposition? I have just heard this for the first time, very difficult for me to understand. So I'm answering it over here. Similarly, this business model is also, you are going to hear for the first time, going to be difficult. But why should you do it? You should do it because this is the essence of any business idea which you are going to be working with. So there are three main roles defined for business model. The first is it will define, that it will create, and it will deliver value to your customers and to you. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So it is going to be skate to where the money will be and not where is it now. Because customers are always searching for something new and valuable. So you need to understand what is your value proposition to your customer and how are you going to take it and how are you going to innovate it. So a business model basically is made up of 9 building blocks, and these 9 building blocks are the 9 ways of innovation. Where can I be using this innovation? So a business model describes the rationale of how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value in economic, social, and cultural context. And this is the process where you have a construction of your business strategy. So let us look into this. Which shampoo do you use? Can anyone answer to me? Which shampoo do you use?
Vela.
Herbal.
Vela Professional, ma'am.
Vela Professionals.
Any
and why do you use it?
Ma'am, because I have done my straightening in my hair, so it is necessary for my hair. So.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else?
I use plant-based mostly. I see the ingredients and it keeps changing anyway when the new ingredients keep coming. Sometimes it's the, I think red onion is going, so I'm using the one which has red onion extract in it.
Okay. Okay, Arvind, which shampoo do you use?
I mean, I'm not particular about a shampoo. I mean, whichever shampoo I get to use. Sometimes I use Clinic Plus, sometimes I use Head and Shoulders, sometimes I use Patanjali. So,
okay, and how do you decide?
I mean, I don't decide in particular. I mean, whichever shampoo is there available in the market, I just pick it. Like the first shampoo that comes across my eyes, I just pick it and I buy it and use it. So
yes,
I'm not like
that is how customers do. That is how customers usually do. Now, say you don't get that onion based extracted shampoo. What are you going to do?
Any other plant ingredient which is as good as the red onion extract, and it promises less hair fall and etc. So
okay, so you are not getting that also, no?
All right, so anything which has less chemical, no chemical free.
Chemical free.
Yeah.
That means you will keep on trying to get a product which is nearer to your liking.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And what does the retail wala have over there?
I mean, what?
What does a retail wala keep?
He keeps mine. Yeah. Chemical free.
No, he keeps the one in which he gets the best benefit out.
Okay.
Very true. Very true.
He will not keep and give it at the price in which he is stocking.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to give it for profit. So whoever is giving him the best option,
Mm-hmm.
financial gains, he will wait. So, you know, you have to understand, why should anyone wait for you? What is the purpose of your business? Why do you want that Mera Wala Pink, or why do you want that Starbucks Wali coffee, or why are you looking for one type of a product? Why? Because somewhere or the other way they have innovated in their business. You can do a lot of innovations. It can be a process innovation, it can be a product innovation, it can be a business model innovation. Wherever the customer value is there, where how does the customer value come? The customer value will only come with the utility. You know, this utility is very much important. You have to understand. This utility is based on price, right? And this price is based on cost. Cost of manufacturing is X. X plus Y is the price. And now the customer utility, I explained to you the concept of utility through quenching of thirst for water. This is the customer value. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It is only in India that we have fixed prices, you know. All the other prices are always flexible, variable. Depends upon the utility. Once I went to Paris and I saw a pair of shoes. At that time, they were giving for 150 euros. And I thought it's so costly. The second day I crossed that window, it was 120. I converted it and I thought it's very costly for me. I don't wear such type of footwear, you know, costing more than 5,000 rupees, 6,000. My range is only 2,000 rupees. You know that the whole week they kept on changing the price and I bought it for 20 euros. Why was that organization changing the price daily? A product on the shelf for a longer time has no customer value. The space is also getting used. So they want to take off the product. So they vary. So your cost and price and customer utility mapping is very much important. You know, do you know any products which are sold more than 10x? Do you buy it? Yes, I want interaction.
I know we are in a coma.
Do you buy?
No, ma'am.
Yes, you buy. Buy?
Okay. Okay.
There are many products which we buy 10x, you know. Even when we know, even a cup of tea when we know is only hardly 4 rupees, 5 rupees at home, we go and buy.
True.
There are many products.
Yeah. We do buy.
We do buy products 10x, but they were the first time people who brought in this concept. And if you know that these transistors were invented in 1940 and Sony was able to make it only in 1955. And look at this product, you know, a Walkman was made in 1980s. when one of the chairmen was walking besides the ocean, he thought, I want to have music in the air, in my ears. You would not have seen a product like Walkman, because all of you are, I think, 90 plus, 90 born after 90.
I had it, ma'am. I had it, Sony Walkman.
So it was the most prized product at
Absolutely.
that instant
Yeah,
of time.
yeah. You're right.
And
right.
it was, envy for all. So this successful product lasted in the market for 20 odd years, and this transistor was made after 50 in 1955, and it took another 25 odd years for them to come up with a Walkman. And this man made Tetra Pak, and he said, I will not sell Tetra Packing machines, but I will sell the process. So what he does is he sells, he takes the packaging as his and gives it to the company. So what he does is he installs the packing machine over there. He doesn't sell the packing machine, but he installs. He keeps 2 people over there who operates and does the packaging for him. So he sold packed services. So it is an innovation in the business model. So what does a business model do is business model is going to teach your, beat your technology. It is going to beat your products. It is going to beat your process. It is basically to develop a business model with a purpose is to do the right things and not to do the things right. So what is a business model? It is the DNA of yours. What it is going to be your mantra. It is going to be giving you a meaning to your employees and to the customer. Why should the employees work and contribute to the organization? And what is it that the customers are looking for and they are getting it delivered for them? So the purpose of any business is to create customers. And what value benefit do we create for whom? How do we do it? How do we earn the money? And what values do we pursue? Look at this example. Initially all of us used to have a normal tea made, but once the green tea started coming in and new fads started coming in, we required to make a cup of tea which was a dip. Now dip teas are very costly. So, this type of a product was made of a silicone, whereby you put in the tea leaves, close it and hang it on the cup, infuse it, so that you have your brew ready in a jiffy. Now, look at who can be the customer for this product. Who will be the customer for this product? People working in office?
Yes.
Where it is going to give you convenience. So you have strategy put in this product. I have this is the pain point. Every time the infusion of the tea is very high, if I use a dip, I want a light brewed tea. So less amount of tea leaves can be used and I will get the infused tea. See, there are many products that have changed the market. iPod changed the way we listen to the music. I just gave an example how Walkman had changed the way we listen to the music. Similarly, the Xbox and PlayStation changed the way gaming is done. And e-books changed and brought in the Kindle of how we read our books. So there are many disruptive innovations around the world. Uber is the world's largest taxi company who owns no vehicle. Facebook has the most popular media but creates no content. Alibaba has no retailer or no inventory. Airbnb is the world's largest accommodation provider, which owns no real estate. Apple, which sells over 200 million smartphones and tablets, does not have a factory. WhatsApp has 3 billion messages a day, but it has no servers. So, disruptive, innovative, and collaborative consumption are the shifting lines of your economy. So what you need to do is create valuable assets. How do we do this? We make a meaning for our idea. Make that meaning a mantra. We have to get going with our idea and make it our business model. And we have to weave a mat around it. You know, after all, business modeling is a DNA to your business. So you have to make a mantra out of it. You have to make work. So there are 4 major areas of a business which you need to understand. For whom are we doing? Who are my customers? What are we offering? How are we offering? What is the infrastructure and what is the outcome? What is the financial viability coming out? So if I'm able to answer these 4 main areas of my business model, I am through. So who are my customers? What am I offering? How am I offering? What is the structure, infrastructure of my systems and procedures involved into it? And what is the outcome and the returns or the financial viability which is going to be there? So this is the basic of my business model. As I said, these are 9 building blocks initially, if you recall. These are only 4. And look at it, how are we going to change this into a business model? So we started with for whom? Who is my customer segment? And I am trying to map it with my value proposition. What is it that I'm offering to the value proposition? You know, have you heard about the vacuum cleaner Dyson? If not, look into that Dyson vacuum cleaner. He used a business model to design a vacuum cleaner in such a fashion that he was able to make a success out of his business. And he prices it more than 7 to 8x times the normal vacuum cleaner. So if you are able to understand for what customer segment you are doing and what are you offering and how are you going to do it and what is the outcome is basically your revenue and the structure which is going to do. So what is a value proposition? Is what do I offer to my customer? That means what difference am I going to bring in the product or service which is already being catered to? See, if I do a similar Me Too type of a business, then it is not going to create new customers because I will be always fighting with the competition to create a niche for myself in the market. So I need to, whatever I'm going to offer, I need to be either innovative, customized, faster, cheaper, better, simpler, easier. What is that difference I'm going to bring in? I give an example over here. Look at that bulb which Edison had made. When Edison made that bulb, somewhere around 200 watt was being used to light that bulb. And look at today, you know how that process has changed from that 200 watt consumption to 0.05 consumption of LED bulb for the electricity. So in the whole process, see, what they did was illumination is very high, 1, the wattage consumption is low, 2, and the bulb which we used to last for 2 to 3 hours, now you have 1000 hours LED bulb. So they are trying to improvise and bring up your standard of living from one level to the next level. See, entrepreneurship is always contextual and relevance has to be associated. So you are making a context and making it relevant all the time when you are talking with the value proposition. Now, when I talk about the customer segment, who's my customer segment? How do I reach them? How do I retain them? So now this customer segment has been divided into three parts. Look into it very clearly. One is the customer. Second is how do I reach them and how do I retain them? So what are my channels of distribution and what is the type of customer relationship? Say for a Nestle type of a product, Maggie, you know, you go to what type of a customer relationship you have? You don't have any customer relationship with Nestle. They will say you have my product or you don't have my product. It doesn't matter. My product gets to be sold. So what they have done is they have made a Facebook page. They have given you an email ID. You keep on writing. They won't revert back. So how do they maintain a customer relationship? No cost of customer relationship. Whereas if I am delivering a product like a Dyson vacuum cleaner or a AC or maybe a car, I need to maintain a service center. I need to handhold my customer for any support. So how do I maintain and retain a customer relationship with them? Say, you know, Maruti car is present only because they have lot of service centers pan India. And Honda City is still deciding on whether they should have so many service stations across India. They are unable to penetrate into the rural market. See the difference between the customer relationship on the business model, which it has. What are your key resources? Who are your human capital? What is your finance? What is your equipment? So your infrastructure and core capabilities have now been divided into two. And your customer was divided into three. Right? So key resources and key partnership. Human, financial, equipments. What are those resources which are required, without which I cannot do? And do I have the capability to, or will someone help me to deliver? Am I going to have my own logistic and supply chain, or I'm going to hire someone to do all this? Do I have the capability to buy all the inventory by myself, or do I hire HR? Should I outsource or should I do it by myself? And then costs and revenues are what describes all costs incurred right from the creating value proposition to delivering and maintaining the customer relationship. And how do I intend making money out of it? And for what and how will the customer pay? And this is how your business model canvas looks like. Okay. And you will have to make one for yourself. The value proposition, how do we read? Let me read it for you first. We start with the center. What is the value proposition? And map it with the customer segment whom we are going to talk about. Where am I getting? What are their needs? What are the pain points I'm trying to solve? What is the type of customer relationship I want to have? And what are the channels of distribution which needs to be developed? So we first look at the right-hand side from the value proposition to the customer segment. Once we have looked into this, we go back and look at the key activities and the key resources and the key partners associated with it. Who are the key partners? I will explain to you. If I am giving away for distribution, they get to be my key partner. Or if I'm buying products from them. They get to be my key partner. I am dependent on any of my process of the business, I can make them my and try to reduce down on the costing of my product. So everything on the left hand side is cost structure to me, and everything on the right hand side is the revenue generation for me. I'll give an example over here. Look at this. You know how different organization has used this business model to create value for themselves. Because you look at the phone. Okay, this phone just innovated on the value proposition. Gillette has a value proposition of the customer relationship. The moment a boy gets to be in the age of shaving, in US, they give a welcome pack to manhood, whereby all the stuff of Gillettes to be used is given over there. Customer segment, EasyJet, that is a low-flying airline of UK, they evolved because of the no-frill flying experience. That means they reduced down all the fringe things which you would be doing your expenditure on in a flight, and just sit, hop, and get off type of a, like our SpiceJet or Indigo flight. That's the way they innovated. Then Dell innovated on, it started from the garage, and it innovated on the basis of no inventory, online marketing and online specification they would take. So this group of boys working from the garage would look into the specifications which someone wanted. They had a tie-up with the they had a tie-up with all those people who would be making components for the laptops or desktops which was ordered. They had a tie-up with FedEx. So what they would do was, the moment they would get the specification, they would raise the component requirement to the respective manufacturers. FedEx was their delivery partner, so they were, FedEx on priority would bring the components to these boys in their garage. They would assemble in the night, and they had the product ready for delivery through FedEx the next hour. And that was the time, you know, they took 24 hours to 36 hours to fabricate the computer and deliver. And they could only do it because they innovated on the distribution channel. And Google, Larry Page and Bill sat for more than 5 years trying to figure out how to make this Google Pay. And then they found a business model based on the revenues. They don't charge you, but they charge someone else. Then, you know, look at Intel. Intel doesn't make anything. It makes a platform for all the computers. You know, you buy whichever computer, it has an Intel inside. And that's word Intel inside tells you that they are partners to all the computers making company. Then Apple innovated on the basis of the capabilities. Cisco innovated on the basis of supply chain. On the basis of cost, Walmart reduced down the cost by having a bigger infrastructure of products. And your success or failure, you know, whichever tool or whichever innovative way you want to think, and you can sell. So there is no single business model there are a lot of opportunities and lot of options. You just have to discover how you want to make it and make it successful. Okay, let's do an example. This is an example for ready to eat butter chicken. Dr. Shinu does it very beautifully. Dr. Shinu?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your example, which you do so beautifully. Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, ma'am. Please go.
So, you know, the beauty of the business model is that, you know, you are seeing two types of post-it slips associated in it. If you change anything in the whole business model, all the 9 blocks needs, all the other remaining 8 blocks will change. So let us give an example to it. And the first one is, I am going to be speaking about all the pink post-it slips. So I said first, look into your competencies and look into your customer segment. My competency says I can have a butter chicken ready to eat being made. So what is the value proposition which I want to make? I want to make butter chicken ready to eat. That means I want to preserve it and sell it so that someone can open up, heat it and use it. See, if I have not defined butter chicken ready to eat, if I miss out on that ready to eat, I say I want to make only butter chicken. So the next question will be, do I want to start a restaurant? Do I want to open a shop where I will only be selling butter chicken with some breads? Or do I want a ready to eat parcel type of a thing? If this ready to eat is there, that means my intention gets very clear. I will have a kitchen in which I will make ready to eat, preserve it, pack it and distribute it to my customer. And who is my customer? Anyone who likes to eat butter chicken. Fair enough. What type of a customer relationship do I want in this? Websites and Facebook page for feedback, communities to share recipes and loyalty programs. Anything else? No, I don't want any customer relationship, because once they have had it and they want to subscribe it more or have a loyalty program, join. So I'm making a page so that way they can interact. Then looking into the channels, how am I going to deliver this ready to eat to my customer? Company owned shops, am I going to have it? Am I going to deliver it to the supermarkets? Am I going to deliver it to the daily needs? Am I going to have an online marketing or call to order or the newspaper inserts? What type of channels of distribution am I going to have for them? Now, what are the key activities associated? The key activities associated to make this butter chicken ready to eat is purchasing, cooking, quality checks, and delivering and creating the brand. Okay. What are the key resources without which I cannot do with the butter chicken? So I need a chef, I need recipe, I need a modern kitchen, I need all the ingredients for making a better butter chicken, and even packaging materials. I can go on and on. So what are those key partners? Who can be my key partners? See, I can have sales partner, I can have delivery partner, I can have those partners for purchasing good quality chicken. Now you look at this. When I am ordering 1 kg of chicken, it costs me 100 rupees. But when I am ordering 100 kgs of chicken, it need not necessarily cost me 100 rupees. It has to cost me 70 or 60 because I am giving him a bulk order. So I make him a partner to my business in such a fashion that I can have slabs per annum if I use chicken till 2 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees. I will be paying at this rate. For 5 lakhs, I will be paying this rate. If I go over 5 lakhs, I will be paying this rate. Okay. And the same thing goes for other ingredient suppliers also. Now, everything on the right hand side got me the revenues. And everything on my left hand side were my cost structures for operating up expenses in the kitchen sales and marketing. Okay. Now, if my revenue is more than cost, then only I should go ahead with the business. If this is not showing for over a period of time, because I always said a business model is contextual and should be relevant. It should have relevance with. So if it is over a period of time able to give me some salaries, ready to pay off my cost structure, then I should go ahead with it. Now say, if I try to do this in such a fashion that I don't want to make ready to eat chicken, so let me make do something different, and that is have a cooking lessons of videos and recipes. The moment my value proposition changes, my customer base also changes. Now, who are my customer base? Those non-vegetarian cooks and also those vegetarian cooks who will just like to cook only the gravy of butter chicken. Right? So they can add kofta, they can add aloo, and they can have just any vegetable into it. So now my customer base has changed. My customer relationship I don't want to have, because YouTube में कोई रहता है क्या आपका customer relationship? So you don't have any customer relationship in YouTube except for like and subscribe. So what I will do is I will have online video lessons, live cooking classes, which takes place. Now coming down to key activities, I have to provide cooking lessons. That means I will have to have a video ready and I need to have a digital platform available. Now look at this cooking trainers. You know, I hire a cooking trainer, say Madhuri Dixit for my butter chicken, and she is training. So my key resource can be only for one time. Now, from where will I earn money? You know, cooking classes, venue partners, online video partners, venue partners and the ingredient partners are very much important. You know, Tata Sampoon or Fortune Oil or Tata Salt or MDH masalas or any other masalas, they all can be my partners when the moment I say I'm having a cooking class. And from here I will get Halflace will be there, or Glen will be there, or Sunflame will be there for designing a kitchen for me. So what happens is my revenue streams will come from sales from cooking classes, and the cost structure will come from cooking trainers on variable or revenue sharing model. Okay, I think we are done with. Any questions?
Ma'am, I have two questions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. One question is, when we were discussing the business model framework, definitely there would be some Indian companies, indigenous companies who must be following some business model, right? So it would be, very great of you if you can talk about those companies also.
Ola is one.
Ola is one. Right.
हमारा वो कौन सा coffee cafe day was one.
Coffee cafe day का तो मैम अब पता है क्या हो गया है वो, it's gone now.
It's gone now, but it was one.
Right. So because it would makes us understand, because contextual differences बहुत है when we talk about overseas companies.
I give an example of Ola.
Okay, right. Another thing is a very fundamental and basic question. When we talk about enterprise or when we talk about entrepreneurship, that is related to that is associated with innovation and creativity, right? But after sharing and after being listened to all the resource people and all, you guys are doing a fantastic job, definitely. Somehow I get this, feeling, ultimately it talks about business. So where is the innovation and where is the creativity? It started with innovation, okay? And now it is brought to a level where we are just talking about cost, benefit. Hello, yeah? Okay, Dr. Sheel. Oh, yes. Okay, so ma'am, somehow, because when I the other day we have this speaker, Meenakshi Babu, right? And now she's been doing a wonderful job. That is called innovation. That is actually innovation, the kind of work she's doing. And there are a lot of people, other people also in the country, and you are also with a lot of startups, helping them out, mentoring them. So kahin na kahin aakar ke somehow I have, this is my personal feeling, it narrows down to commercial gain, it narrows down to business. So my whole idea of taking my passion forward, my innovation forward, my creativity forward has ultimately narrowed down to commercial.
Yes, it has to. Yes. Value for your idea,
right?
Success for your any idea can be measured in terms of what? What is the outcome you are looking for? I spoke startingly as an outcome. Say I am in a business of social service.
Right.
How do I measure my success? What are the key matrices? What do you measure? Now, let me tell you, I am in a business of making sanitary napkins for distribution to government schools in the nearby villages.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
My source of income is not there because I am giving it for free of cost. Right? So what will be that which I will measure as a success?
So commercial aspect is also
another aspect. Now, what is my success? My success will be measured by how many girls continued their education and completed their graduation or went up to this stage of education.
Right.
Or when I was talking about self-actualization for that ready-to-eat chapati, how many people did not sleep without food? 1 meal a day. That is going to be the measure of success. But I need to come down to my basic model initially to understand what are the points which I am going to measure.
Okay.
How are you going to define your success? Everyone defines their success is again contextual. For a 1-year-old, it is walking. For a 5-year-old, it may be, going to the toilet by themselves. So what success are you looking for? That matters.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Any other question?
Yeah, that's it from my side.
Can I add something?
Yes, Dr. Shinu.
Sure.
So I was just saying that, ma'am, however we talk about innovation, ultimately when we are in business is not meant for charity. Even a social enterprise today, he has to get some money. Say, for example, if we talk about Arvind Eye Hospital, they're serving to 1 kg society, right? But on the other side, they are charging premium price to those customers who can pay them more money. So when you talk about business, it boils down ultimately to make revenue, whether it is a social enterprise, whether we accept it or not, but that's the true reality of it.
That's the bottom line. You have
Exactly.
you have to define what is your success.
I may try and use any model and try to use some sugar-coated words to explain that, but ultimately businesses boil down to making money.
In fact, Vandana ji, आप खुद अपनी life में भी देखिए, you will always try to improve from one level to the other, because that is how the growth is measured.
True.
So what are you going to measure? You have to make that as a benchmark. And then when I gave this example of sanitary napkins being made, I am making these sanitary napkins, but I am taking money from some organization for the CSR activities and doing it. Or I am tying up with the PMO's office for this job. I am not doing charity. I cannot use all my wealth.
Right.
So when you talk about innovation,
there has to be ROI. Ultimately, there has to be ROI.
Exactly. And when you talk about innovation, it could be process innovation, it could be product innovation, it could be technical innovation in some different form, but ultimately it has to be backed up by money.
Right. Thank you so much. Lovely.
Anybody else has any other questions? Well, thank you so much, ma'am. It was seriously nice hearing you today with lots and lots of examples. And I'm sure I could relate to it. So I'm sure all the participants could have also relate to it. Thank you so much for spending all your time. It was always wonderful hearing you.
Most welcome. Thank you very much for inviting. And Arvind, thank you very much for standing up with me and being over here. Arvind was supposed to take the session, but I took it all. So thank you very much for.
So I'm looking for a next time soon for Arvind, for sure. Thank you so much, ma'am.
So thank you so much.
Dr. Shri,
thank you so much, ma'am.
Let me introduce you to Arvind. His core strength is design thinking.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that I could figure out that.
Shinu ma'am, we should have one more session by.
Sure, we'll plan that one.
Right. That would be fantastic, wonderful.
Certainly.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely hearing you. Thank you so very much.
Okay, Dr. Shrinu, I'm signing out.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And all the participants, please fill up the quiz and feedback for the day. And we'll have another session tomorrow, which is more on, how to identify a team and leadership and all that kind of stuff related to your startup. But meanwhile, I have shared 2 canvases, which ma'am has shared today, business model canvas and value proposition canvas on your WhatsApp group. Please look at these canvas and try to put your idea into it. So that will help you to move one step closer to your business idea and business plan. And any questions, any doubts, please reach out to me.
We'll be getting the recording of the session as usual.
Yeah, you will get it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sheena.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Bye. See you tomorrow at the same time. Bye-bye.